Today, incline bench 90. Feel like that'd be quite cool. It's a pretty good weight to be shifting, if I say so myself, because 90 is nearly 100, and 100 is 2 plates, and 2 plates is cool. So I shall warm up as normal, and then I shall lift the weights as normal, and then the weight shall be lifted, and everything will be as it should be in the world. So today, for anybody that is wondering, is day 1 of this training week. So we've got incline bench first, which is my main, well, it's like my tertiary bench session. So I have 3 bench sessions. My main bench, which is blasphemy for a powerlifter, is touch and go, because my touch and go is so much weaker than my paused. Then my second bench is paused, and then my main bench accessory at the minute is incline. So I've gradually worked the weight of this up over the past few months. First session I did this a couple of months ago, I topped out at like 65 kilos for sets of 5 or 6. Now, today, the plan is 90 for 4 sets of 5. So that's quite a significant improvement over that time period. Now, a big part of that will just be learning the movement and getting used to it. But also, when you find something that's a massive weakness, it pays off loads to hammer that weakness and get it to catch up so that you're more well-rounded as a lifter. So over time, as you get stronger and stronger and stronger, if you can find these weaknesses and exploit them, then you can make gains easier. So if you find that, like, say your normal bench is 160, your close grip bench is only 120, work on your close grip bench. It's like easy, free gains to be had. So you may as well do it. Likewise on this, my normal bench, 160, my incline was 60. So if we can push this up, this will have good carryover to normal bench. The range of motion's a lot longer for me when I bench, because my pec only being half of one. I use my front delts and triceps a lot. This is great for both front delts and triceps. It's a little pecky, but not a right lot. So this will be 80. No problems there. It's feeling, dare I say it, good, which is nice. So if you've watched the previous few videos, they're being a bit haphazard and more sporadic than I wanted. This is going to be an excuse. It's not even a reason. It's just a flat out excuse. In the middle of moving house and fitting training around moving house and then filming it has been very impractical. So I've just not been on top of doing it, but I'm still trying to do it as and when I can. Now, at home at the minute, the house is basically chaos because we're still living in it, but we need to get everything ready. So as soon as we get the keys, everything is gone in a day, and organising different stuff. And then to make things better, where we live floods a lot. I don't mean the house, but the surrounding roads. So if the road's flooded, then instead of it being a 5-minute drive somewhere, it becomes like a 45-minute drive. So it adds more and more time and other stuff that happens. So it just means things are being more erratic than normal. Now, I've been doing the best I can, but obviously that's not always enough. I don't know if I'm recording this. I am, so that's fine. Anyway, onto the bench. So we will go with 90 kilos, 5 of your finest reps, please. I'm going to do like a brief pause on them, but not like resting it on my chest for too long. This will be really good. So first set will be a PB. And then I'll do it for 3 more sets, hopefully. Right. That was awkward. Oh, that was juicy. That was good. Awesome. PB incline bench. That's improved loads. I can still, because I know you're wondering, I can still feel my elbows. Just like it's like a little something. Not enough to make me change anything yet. But I am aware of it. So what I'm hoping will happen is when things calm down, I'll have a bit of extra recovery time, and so they'll just go back to normal. It's stupid, but like the extra little fatigue of moving stuff about and things like that. And also I'm still in a deficit. I was 89.0 this morning. So in 2 weeks and 1 day, I'm down like 6 or 7 kilos now. So I've lost loads of weight. I've definitely lost, there'll be like, if you look at my arms, there's no pump at all. They just look skinny. I've definitely lost fat though, because you can see like there's not as much fat there. And yesterday's video, I did a physique update. You can see I'm visibly leaner, but I'm also like real flat. Everything just feels like deflated, for lack of a better term. I probably will have lost a little bit of muscle as well, but probably not contractile tissue. So with muscle, contractile tissue is the actual units of muscle, but then within each one, if you imagine you've got water balloons, for lack of a better term, I've not lost any water balloons, but what I've lost is the water, the stuff that was inside the balloons. There'll be less of that. So that's why I feel like skinny and flat is what bodybuilders would call it. It's flat, you just feel flat. As soon as you start eating more, that comes back, like things pop back out. And also, as soon as I start eating more, any potential tiny fractions of muscle lost will come back on anyway. So it's not a big deal. And the whole point of this phase was to clean up, for lack of a better term, and be ready for being in surplus when I start to train heavier again. So to be fair, granted that this is not heavy, I'm still hitting reasonable weights. I mean, I benched 140 for a couple of singles the other day, so that's pretty good. Squatted 230, done some beltless work with like 210, 215. Excuse me, very gassy. It's a monster, always makes me gassy. 210, 215-ish on the squats, so that's cool. Last night as well, I slept for 10 and a half hours. It was fantastic. Not on purpose, but it was great. It's very rare I wake up and be like, why is it so late? So normally I sleep 8 hours and 42 minutes. That's the average over the past like 3 years of what time I end up sleeping. So some is slightly more, slightly less, but that's what it seems to average out, 8 hours and 42 minutes. But when I had a look at my sleep over the last few nights, because back end of last week with the event that went on, I slept less around then, so then I slept more afterwards. And now I feel back to life, as silly as that sounds. I feel like kind of recovered. And then, now it's moving time. So that's timed really well. So I've got today, last bits of work and stuff. I'm going to take a couple of days to actually move everything. And then it'll be time to shop for a home gym. The biggest thing that I need for the home gym, for it to be useful, is the rack. I think, so this here is a strength shop. I think it's a Goliath rig. So I'm going to see I think they do a rack that would stand in the gym. And ideally, I want one with the same attachments. So any attachments I've got here, I could use at home and vice versa. But I need to measure the height of the room that it's going to be in. But I can't do that until tomorrow night. And also, I don't want that to all arrive whilst we're moving and everything. Anyway, as you're watching this, and as past me is watching this, you'll be able to remember the moving of the house and all that fun stuff. So what's happened that was different? So I don't know if you know, we have a cat. The cat's blind. She's called Jess. I say we, it's Rachel's cat. But she will sit, when Rachel's not home, she'll come and try and like climb onto my lap. But what she started doing now is if I use the treadmill under my desk, when I'm done with it, because obviously it warms up, she'll just go and just sit on that and just like super happy and being on the treadmill. But she won't walk on it yet. She's blind, so maybe that's why. Maybe she's just lazy. I don't know. Anyway, set 2. Let's see if I can unrack it this time without having nearly a mishap. That was really good as well. It feels like proper work, you know, but it doesn't feel unsafe. It still feels a little shaky, but it might just be the bench, I don't know. So I'll need to get a rack and a bench and flooring, but I don't want to mess about with the flooring until I know what rack I'm going to get, because if the rack needs bolting into the flooring, then I'll do like I've done here, have the flooring then on top of it. So that's probably, it's getting close to Christmas now, so I don't know if I'll be able to get it delivered in time. So that'll mean traveling to train at other gyms. I don't know how much I'll do in the way of filming. What can I get away with filming and not? Yeah, I don't know. I sorted out the internet today. That's fun. But that won't get activated until Christmas Eve, which is weird. A weird day for it to get activated. So we'll have to work off of a mobile hotspot until then. So I don't know how well that's going to go. I don't know if I'll be able to upload stuff or not. So we'll find out about that, or if there'll just be a massive rush of things come through. Food-wise at the minute, that's actually easy at the minute. Because of it being fat loss, I don't have to make an effort to eat loads of food. So all I'm doing is just having some portion of meat, some fruit or veg, or both, a shake, and a ready meal. So the ready meals that we're getting are the ones that say they're like 40 grams of protein and about 800 calories. I don't believe they're that much protein, to be honest. So then I'm getting like 200, 220, 230 protein. And then, so yesterday, for example, I had some salmon, I had some burgers, I had some chicken breast, and I had a shake. That was it. In the shake, there was kefir, protein powder, chocolate milk, peanut butter powder, and a banana. I think that was like 70 grams of protein and like 700 calories. So super easy to just have that whilst doing other stuff, as opposed to having to sit down and eat. So that's handy. I was gonna, when I saw the weight this morning being 89, I thought, oh, maybe I'll stop with the fat loss. But because it's easy and the training's still not anything special yet, I thought I'll just keep going with a similar routine that I am. And what I will say is, this week cardio has not been, this week, it's only Tuesday. Yesterday I did cardio and I walked. Today, my parents are coming and they've got a van. So I think they're going to take some of the bigger items, which includes the treadmill and the bike. So I probably aren't going to do... Well, no, that's a lie, because I'm going to be moving. So I won't be directly doing cardio and steps like normal, but I'll be obviously moving backwards and forwards, moving stuff about. So I'm not really too bothered about that not being like exact. For specific cardio, that will very much be determined by what spare time there is, or dead time or whatever. So for example, on the day we get the keys, we don't get the keys till 10:30, but we're going to stay in that place. So we're going to stay somewhere near to the new house the night before. So we're already there. So what I'll do is I'll get up and I'll go and train on the morning. And it depends on how long it takes us to do the training session, whether I'll have time to do cardio as well. Because as soon as we get the keys, it's just like go, 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 everything go. If you've like stumbled across this video from one sometime in the future, then you'll probably see what the home gym setup's like now and what the other gyms are at that I'm training at, and what it's like when I'm training here as well. It's just having a list of things and just ticking through the list. It's going to sound really silly, but it's so much easier doing this than doing my normal work in terms of all the moving and stuff, because it's just like a big game. It's just like playing Tetris, and you get to move, so you feel good. It requires minimal thought, so it's almost like a nice break from work, as silly as that sounds. And for the most part, I've put as much stuff as I can like onto autopilot or pre-scheduled or whatever to cover this period. Obviously there's some stuff that you can't, but all my athletes are fantastic and they know that I will get back to them as soon as I can. So I'm still replying to them every day, but they know that it won't be like a 5-minute response. It'll be like, it might be at the end of the day or the beginning of the day instead, just for the next 3-4 days. And we're back to normal, but back to normal on mobile hotspot. So I don't know how that'll go. And then when we'll get the Wi-Fi, then everything will be at least back to a normal level. Whether or not it will be easier, I don't know. I have to imagine it will be. It'll certainly be different. And the new house layout will be good too. So I'm gonna do another set. You're distracting me. Right. Whew. That was good. That actually felt better than the other. Oh no. The upholstery on this is coming off. I might take that bench for me at home and buy a new bench for the gym instead. So that's 3 sets done. Just one more to go. As I was doing the reps there, I was thinking about overhead press and strict pressing this. That'd be crazy. And Josh sometimes watches this, sometimes doesn't. He's just pressed 100 strict for 3, and I'm very jealous of that. So one day I'll maybe catch up. Probably like, do you know when you know someone and you would chat and have a conversation and you might message online, but like you haven't actually spent any time in person and you're not like messaging all the time. It's like friendly, but not friends. Well, anyway, Josh, that's kind of the dynamic we have, if you like. We know each other, we talk. If we saw each other in person, we talk. but neither of us know anything about each other beyond basically lifting. I have lots of friendships, I guess you would call it, like that, of like, you know someone's lifting, but you don't actually know them. To be fair, that's what relationships between guys are like, isn't it? You know what they lift and that's it. Like, oh, you got 3 kids, didn't even realise. But I know that your bench is 162.5 kilos for 2 reps, or whatever it is. So yeah, anyway, 100 kilos strict. Even just 90 would be cool. My best ever strict, I think I did 82.5 once, but don't quote me on that, on a normal bar. I've done 100 on a log, strict, but I feel like that's a lot easier because the log's already part way off your chest. When you're pressing the log, your hands are like here, so as you move back, all you've got to do really is like a tricep extension. And that was just a random log session without having trained it. It was just a bit of fun one day. But that's fairly recent. The 82.5 strict overhead press will be quite literally years ago. I'm interested to know though, maybe after this next, if I hit 700 in this competition, I'll probably take some time off. Not off training completely, but time off from like powerlifting. And then I'll obviously reassess where my body's at, have a look, are there any niggle? So like my elbows, for example, there's nothing to be done now leading up to the next competition. But after that, I need to address why they keep getting sore and make sure that that's taken care of. Little things like that. Get some more mobility back, flexibility back, whatever. Training other ranges of motion. So like that overhead range, my overhead, it's not terrible, but like it could be better. Do more pulling work and stuff like that, and just generally build a more balanced physique, a more balanced body to express strength from. So I'll probably do that. And during that time is where I might have more fun going the overhead press and stuff like that. That's unless I decide to sign up for another competition. I probably shouldn't do that because it'll be 700. Well, I'm working on the assumption I'm going to hit 700 at this next competition when I very well might not. So if I don't, then obviously I'll continue with this. If I do, then it'll be figuring out the next steps. Because like lifetime goals, the squat, done that and more. The bench, done that and more. The deadlift, no. The deadlift lifetime goal was 300. I think I could pull 300 sumo. I think I'm strong enough to do it without peaking. But I think I might also tear something. And I've like made myself stop doing it. Like a recovering addict. So to get to a 300 conventional, that's going to be like another 50 odd kilos to add. I mean, if we just, so say this competition, say I don't PB squat, I just squat 272 again. Say I get the bench that I missed, so 167, so that's 280, 340, 440. Then if I did deadlift 300, that'll be a 740 total. So actually, by just focusing on the deadlift, I could push the total to nearly 750. Ooh. Should the next, right, obviously I'll do this competition, I'll keep working towards 700 total. What should the next one be? Should it be aiming for the 300 deadlift or an 800 total? Because I think I need a 300 deadlift to hit an 800 total. Because it would have to be 300, 180, 300. That's 780. So then there's 20 kilos missing somewhere. So it's got to go on the squat or the deadlift. I don't know. And I'll probably do it at 105 rather than at 93. So I'll be getting heavier. I don't know. I suppose it's not relevant right now, is it? I wonder if you can tell the days where I'm knackered versus the days where I'm normal. So knackered days are like, ugh, I can't bother, there's nothing to talk about. And the days where I'm normal, there's just a stream of consciousness. Absolute nonsense. Trite? That the phrase? I was talking to a friend, Colin, friend and colleague, Colin, and he said he likes how you can tell this is just complete nonsense that's made up on the spot. Anyway, this is the 4th set. I hope you're keeping count. Since starting to record, I cannot remember what my workouts are whilst I'm doing them. Right. Come on. Yes. That was cool. Really pleased with that. Ooh. I feel like it's like good, honest work. Benches. Yeah, I'm going to need to replace that bench. I wonder what delivery times will be like over Christmas for stuff. I bought Rachel a Christmas present yesterday. It arrived today. Super convenient. Even more convenient is she, not so subtly, sent me a link and said, this is nice. Right, on to dumbbell press. Next. Just flat. That'll be easy. It won't be easy. Easy to set up. Right. I'm just gonna... I'll just move you. So I was gonna do a video just basically replying to people's comments on these videos, because some of them are excellent and some of them are quite amusing. I get compared to, there's usually one of 3 people, famous people, that I get compared to. So I get Liver King without the steroids, which I can see with the mane and the beard and stuff. I can see why that. I get Juji Mufu again without the drugs. Again, because of the hair and the beard, I get it. And then the other one I've got is Chris Duffin. I don't really see that one too much. So all 3 of them, famous for different reasons. So obviously Liver King is famous for indulging in animal genitalia. Chris Duffin is an absolute animal. Owns Kabuki. I think, is it just called Kabuki? Like, they make gym equipment, his programs, education. He was a super elite powerlifter. So it's a cool comparison, but don't think we look too similar. And then Juji Mufu, he's just an absolute unit. He does like acrobatics and stuff. And I don't know why I'm telling you this. If you know who they are, you're much more likely to know who they are and not know who I am, rather than the other way around. But they're the comparisons I normally get. So I'm choosing to take them all as a compliment instead. I'm sure there'll be some different ones or some more creative ones over time. But they're good. But it's nice that people think that I look like Juji Mufu, because the guy's like a machine. I was gonna get the mat out and do a backflip. But I don't think that's a good idea given all the moving and stuff. But I will do one when we've moved. I'll do a backflip so then I can be like judging me through. Right, give me 2 minutes. I need to pee, and then I'll be back. Okay, so flat dumbbell press. Now I'm gonna go today with whatever weights are closest to me. Sets of 8 to 15. I think we'll go with the 30s today. Have a little bit of an improvement. And see how many reps between 8 and 15. Again, I said before, generally a little bit heavy, a little bit heavy, a little bit heavy over time. See how that goes. So nice and controlled with these. Please, if you wouldn't mind. Oh, they feel heavy. They're supposed to, aren't they? That's the whole point. Right. Oh. That might actually be a bit too heavy. They didn't feel very controlled at all, and it felt like every rep I was doing, I was shifting this arm to take the pressure off from my half a pec. So I'm going to go down to the 25s instead of the 30s. So I want to get more out of it. So it's still progressive because I've done more, and I'll probably do more reps. But that wasn't ideal, let's say. That'd be a good thing though. So because here, the majority of members that we have are basically learning how to train. We don't have a right lot of use for the big dumbbells. So basically just for me and the odd member that needs them. So when I go and use a commercial gym, they'll have loads of weights. So I'll be able to choose the in-betweener weights. So for dumbbell presses, I could really do with 27.5 or 28 or something. That'll be a much better load. So yeah, the comments. I do enjoy reading the comments on YouTube. The Instagram comments, they're like the most rational, I think, because they're usually real people. TikTok is not real. TikTok comments are brilliant. They're just insane people. I think maybe I'm just old, I don't know, but I think TikTok's just full of the youth, of the young'uns, who all just have Dunning-Kruger. And then YouTube's got the broadest range, so from people being insane to people being very logical and rational. I had a video, it was about calibrated plates versus normal plates, and the amount of people that were so I got things like, just train harder, it doesn't matter, you're wasting your money if you get calibrated plates, explain to me what calibrated plates are, explain to me why I don't need calibrated plates or why I do need calibrated plates. And not one of the profiles, so I did have a look, it was quite fun. I was doing it whilst I was doing cardio one day, so it's a good distraction. Had a look through the profiles of the people commenting. Either faceless, nameless profile, not a real person, or the ones that did, they clearly didn't, well, I tell a lie, they might have lifted, but it wasn't clear that they lifted. And the ones that did have like training and stuff on their profile, it was like, when you get past, I was going to be really polite and respectful, but like the people that were commenting about calibrated plates not making a difference were the people that can't bench 2 normal plates. So for them, the idea of squatting 6 or 7 plates I don't think they could comprehend how much of a difference it does make having the calibrated versus not. And don't get me wrong, if there was someone that was like some world champion powerlifter who was saying, fine, I will listen. You understand what it feels like, you know. But it's just funny, like going through the comments and seeing all of the opinions of everybody. And the great thing is, everybody thinks that everything is about them. So anything you say, someone watching is like, oh, he's talking about me. They have to like pull out their glasses one key at a time. How dare you? I find it funny, the image of that happening anyway. Right, I'm gonna go down in weight because I just don't train hard enough. That's my problem. That's why I'm not very strong, because I just don't train hard enough. I just need to try harder, don't I? Oh, that was a good set. That felt about right kind of intensity on where I want it to feel, which is my pecs, my tig old biddies. That's a real word. So yeah, what else random thoughts have we got today? So a lot of the stuff I talk about, the ideas and things for future and this and that, what I'm looking forward to is this time next year, how many of the things that I've said I'm going to do will I have actually done? So every year I use an app called Tick. If you search Tick propane, you'll see a full guide on how to use it. I use it for task management, and I put a recurring reminder every year, and I basically write a letter to myself, if you like, of your goals for the next 12 months are this. By now, you should have done this. If you've not done this, why not? If you've not done this, why not? This is what the big goal is. This is this, this is this. And every year I get it. And I look through and be like, how many of the things did I do or didn't I do? And obviously I break it down into different periods and times and stuff. But I always find it interesting to look back and see it. And when I was younger, because I've been doing that in some way, shape or form for a long time. I used to email it to myself in the future. I used to just write it down in a notebook, but Tick is what I'm using at the minute. It's interesting to see the difference over time. Now, I'll have the video evidence of it as well. So, what I might do, I'm not sure how much stuff I'd want to share on here, but I might still make a video and I'll put it as private or something, and then I'll send a link to it in an email to myself in a year's time. So there'll be like a list of personal goals, business goals, life goals, relationship goals, like all the different facets of life. Because the thing is, like with goals, you obviously can set the outcome, but the outcome is meaningless without the steps. It's like, sit down, write out all the big goals, break them all down, be like, right. So let's say YouTube, for example, that's a real simple one. So my goal of this is so I have a training log for me in the future. Now, as a side goal, it would be good if this helps more people. So then the proxy for this helping more people, there's a few ways of looking at it. So one is, what's the watch time? How many people are watching this? Because if more people are watching this, this is helping more people. Another is, one of the links that's in my bio goes to a free course on strength training. So I can see how many people have watched this and then gone through the course. So I know how many people I've helped over the year. So I could, for example, have a goal of, by the end of 2024, I want to have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube or something like that. So that means I've helped 1,000 people in some way, shape or form in some kind of training. So that's really cool. So that could be like a goal. Or it could be that I want 1,000 people to have gone through my course or whatever it is. Pick that as the goal, but I can't control whether that happens. All I can control is, do I put out the videos consistently, and do I go to the effort of trying to make it so people click on them and watch them and actually get some value out of them. So for example, over the year, I could break that down into monthly. So each month I need to produce, let's say, 20 videos. So my process goal for the year could be, did I do 20 videos a month for the year? If I did, cool, I hit that goal. Did I then also get the outcome goal that I wanted of the 1,000 subscribers? If I did, cool, this worked. If I didn't, why? What went wrong? Let's look at all the different steps, because everything has different steps. So I did the videos, yes, no. What was the problem with the videos? Was it the titles? Was it the thumbnails? Was it the click-through rate? Was it the content of the videos? Were the videos crap? Was it the audio? Was it the sound? Did they get copyright strike? Like, what's the reason? You can figure all of that out. Now, obviously, I'd review it before the whole year is up, but you can do that with any goal. So I'll just talk about this because it's an easy one. So let's say for YouTube, my goal for the year, so my goal was just to log my trainer sessions. So that's the first one. I wanted to log all of them, but clearly I aren't going to be able to do that in terms of filming everything, but I can log like the majority of them and the different phases and stuff. So if we go with that goal of 20 videos a month, so on average, say there's 30 days in a month, that means that I'm usually going to get 4 or 5 videos a week. I think that's something I can keep up, and based on the trajectory, that will probably result in maybe another couple of hundred subscribers. I don't know. So we're at about 500 now. So if that gets up towards 1,000, then cool. I've done that in the time frame using that as the metric. Or a different goal might be, if someone wanted to say, for example, monetize their YouTube account, I think it's 1,000 subscribers. I don't actually know, but I think you need 1,000 subscribers and then like 1 million watch hours or something. So that's a different game that someone's trying to play to get to that outcome. Whereas that's not my motivation of using this, because I've got businesses to do the business side of the business. So yeah, goal setting, it's something I find fascinating, of outcome-based goals and process-based goals. So getting in shape, that's a really easy one. So the end outcome is, so me, right now, my end outcome of this phase is to lose some body fat. So I want to lose, say, another 3 more kilos. I can't actually control whether I'll lose 3 kilos. But what I can control is the inputs. So am I eating the right amount of food? Am I eating the right kinds of food? Am I doing the right amount of activity? And am I tracking things? If I'm doing all of that, and I do all of that to the best of my ability and knowledge, then I will get to the outcome eventually. If I'm not, then I can work backwards and fix it. Obviously, for me, that's straightforward because that's my job. That's what I help people with. Like, I get people in shape. You're welcome. If I'd have left that on, that would have deafened you. So, my job on a whole, so there's two kind of things. The gym, we help people that want to get healthier, happier, and stronger. That's one. The other side of things is I help people become unreasonably strong. So to summarize all of my clients' goals that I work with online is to get jacked and massive and lean and strong. That's it. Just like dead simple. So obviously for me, the inputs and outputs for the physique changes are really simple, but for someone else, it might not be. They might need more help in those different elements. They might need more accountability or more support or whatever, but you can still have that as process-based goals of like, did I check in with my coach twice a week? Did I check in with my coach every day? Did I do this? Did I do da-da-da? Did I seek help when I need it? You can go through all of those things, and then you can use them to know whether or not you're heading towards your goal. And the actual end outcome, Will you get it? Will you not get it? You don't know. Obviously, if you're using a framework that's proven to work, then you're much more likely. So like I know if I get a new athlete and they want to put 50 kilos on their total, I know that they need to do this, 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 and this. So if I give them the list, check off this, do this. I know if they do that, the chances of them getting there, short of a freak accident happening, are very, very high. But you still can't guarantee it. You can't 100% guarantee it. But you can like 99% like, yeah, it's going to work. Whereas if they only do 30% of the things that they were given and agreed to do, and it's like, the chances of you getting there are very, very slim. Anyway, rant over. Set number 3. Need to keep these nice and clean. That was another good set. So I just got one more. I think I might need to get my eyes tested, you know. Oh, I just said about how good I slept last night and now I'm yawning. So my nutrition for today, what I had for breakfast was, so it was chicken thigh, wild rice, a Jamaican can of sauce, and some plantain. That was what I had for breakfast. And then I had about a third of a shake. In that shake, there was kefir, chocolate milk, protein powder, banana. And then I'm gonna have the rest of it when I finish this. And then I've got clients, members, athletes, whatever words you want to use, for a few hours. And I've got a few meetings. And then I need to go and dismantle a big wardrobe, take that apart, dismantle some other bits of furniture ready to be moved, load them up into a van, pack up some more boxes of stuff, and then for food for this evening, I'll either have burgers or salmon. Yeah, be simple, burgers or salmon. So nothing crazy, but like I say, weight's dropping off really quickly. So if I keep going, it'll just mean I've got more room to grow afterwards. I'm looking forward to getting more into like a slightly more stable routine. Just so that simple stuff, like I like having the headspace to know exactly what I'm gonna do. So with training, I know that on Tuesday I have bench accessory. Wednesday, squat and deadlift accessory. Thursday is bench, like my third bench accessory. Saturday is my big bench day. Sunday is my big squat and deadlift day. I like having that routine and structure, but I'd like to have that with other work stuff as well. At least for most of the time. So it's easier to plan stuff. And I like that over the winter. I don't really care so much about that over the summer. Over the summer, I like being out and about and doing stuff, but I kind of look at everything in like seasons. Well, pun not intended. So seasonally, I like the winter for work, so that I'll spend more time inside just by virtue of the weather and spend more time working on business and stuff like that. And then the summer, the work from the winter pays off. I do as much work and as much stuff outside as possible, make the most of it. Well, practically speaking, probably aren't going to travel as much as I would, as much as was planned because of various stuff and things. But still going to get away at some point. So that will obviously change things, but you can travel with a laptop. That's not a problem, obviously. But then with travelling and stuff, it's to get somewhere warm enough over the winter from the UK, you have to go quite far. So like you're looking at 6, 7, 8 hour flights. I don't really want to spend 6, 7, 8 hours flying to just be somewhere for a week or two. I'd want to be there for like a month or more. And the downside of that is I don't want to leave for that long time period and be out of a routine for that long. Whereas if it's like a week or two, then it's not so bad because I'll just time it for when I've got like active recovery or something else like that. So then gym and stuff doesn't matter. So that's why I say once I get the 700 done, ticked off, that's when I can be a bit more flexible with stuff, because the 800 will be very much a long-term, multi-year project, not just a next 6 months, let's do this, next 7 months, let's do this. Whereas a 700, like, until I do it, I obviously aren't strong enough. But I do think, I think I'm strong enough, but I'm not. If I don't hit 700, I'm gonna become one of those old guys that's like, back in my day I could do, like, no you couldn't, except I got the evidence that I could. So, I don't know where I was going with that. If you got this far through, comment on the video saying literally anything, like the words, literally anything, and then in return you'll have my eternal love. I find it interesting as well. So there was a period of time where I tried to like do the YouTube thing, and I was making an effort to do it and stuff, spending lots of time and effort trying to make it like the quality of it really high and whatever else. But I would make one video every 12 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever. And even though they might have been good quality for the time, they weren't consistent, so it was pointless. And it's just the same of like, if you're training, you have one amazing session, but if you don't train for 3 months, what's the point? You gotta just keep showing up, doing the reps, all that stuff. Last one, best one. Done. Oh wait, I'm not finished training, just done with them. Laterals, 4 sets, cable triceps, 4 sets. I'm gonna go straight to using the cables this time, because last week there was that weird clicking thing. So yeah, I'll move you and then we'll get cracking with that. All right, we have laterals and triceps. 4 sets of each. So I can try and get like massive. So this is my shoulders now before I start. See what happens to them when I'm done. Will they change at all? Nobody knows. There's a little bit more weight than last time because I'm stronger. And progressive. Progressive stimulus is key. One set done. My shoulders look any bigger yet? Probably not. I did think about supersetting them, so it would be a set of laterals and then triceps, but that's not what the program says, and I'm slightly ahead. This is a nice problem to have. Not a problem. I'm slightly ahead of schedule for today, so I'm going to make the most of that and enjoy doing these. There's something about like lateral raises, the bend from them feels kind of good in the shoulders. It's a different kind of uncomfortable, I think. Like the pain you get in your legs when you're doing like high volume, full range stuff it feels like your skin's gonna pop. But when you get that with your shoulders, it feels good. You feel twice as wide as well. I think that's getting above the target intensity. Do my shoulders look massive yet? I feel it now. I mean, massive for me. Obviously, they're not for someone with big shoulders. I'm going to drop the load. So I've done 2 sets heavier than last week, and then I'll do 2 sets lighter. I don't know if it was 3 or 4 last week. Oh, I know they've worked hard because it's uncomfortable holding that up. It's just, you know, when you've done raises and you just want to like, it's like there's just the lactic acid and the jelly here. Go away. But at the same time, it feels good. It's a weird, like, you're trying to get it to go away, but I also like it. And it makes you like, want to like disassociate your arms from the movement, just so you can pick up your drink and have some. But then now they're fine. I guess it. So strange. I mean, it's not strange from a physiological perspective. Obviously, lactic acid and metabolites clear. But even when you know it logically, emotionally, it's strange. Because, you know, emotions are important or something, I'm told. They're only, well, doesn't matter how you feel, does it? You just do the things you do, regardless of the emotion. If you've got things to do, you just do the thing. Speaking of, oh, come on. That's it, my arms are going to fall off. So that's less weight, and it feels like just as hard. So how about now? My shoulders massive now. They feel like it. Just one more. What's your favourite body part to train? I like training. I don't know. Normally I like deadlifting, but at the minute with my hamstring being a bit funny, I'm not really super excited for that. think I'm indifferent, like I just like it all. I like doing really hard intervals on like the assault bike or something. There's just something about like when you can't feel, all you can feel is what you're doing. So you get like the closest connection with your body possible when you're right on that red line. And the difference between that and a max lift is when it's a max lift, it's over like that. So you're not even aware of it when it's happening. But when you're doing like, say it's like a 20-second flat out sprint for rounds on the assault bike, that's long enough that there's thoughts and there's space in your head, and you can feel everything. You can feel the fibers in your legs moving. You can feel your lungs like trying to grasp air, trying to breathe. You can feel your heart thumping, 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 and thumping. Like there's just, you can feel it. And you can like, over time of doing it more and more, you can, so an exercise I have some of my athletes do, they'll start off and have them do, I'll give them some kind of work that I know they can't finish, or that's going to be very tough for them to finish. And when they're done, I need them to write out what thoughts they're having. So, this is hard, I can't do it, why do I have to do this, blah, blah, blah. Lots of negative thoughts. And you see them over time, if they reframe that into being a positive thing of, this is hard, awesome, let's go. Like, I can do this. My heart rate's getting higher, cool, I must be doing well. And like, reframing it. So first you take it from a negative to a positive, and then eventually you take it to where it just is. It's like, my heart rate is high. That's it. There's no good, there's no bad, it just is what it is. So like, doing this, my shoulders feel like jelly. I enjoy it to a certain extent, but whilst I'm doing it, it just is. It is the thing that it is. It's not negative. It makes me do this weird thing afterwards, but it is just what it is. I've listened far too much to Johnny and Alec. If you guys watch this, it's all very woo-woo. Anyway, one more. That's good. Right, shoulders done. Do they look huge? Do I look like a bodybuilder now? I don't know. Right, next one, triceps. It's the weird tricep exercise that I've been enjoying recently. So we'll see how that goes. I never know whether to bother including this sort of stuff, but then I figure what's the point in filming some of it and not all of it, unless there's a practical reason. So like, if we got members in or something dies, like something dies as in equipment. I mean, if a person died, obviously I'd stop filming. Not like any person. Somebody I know. That got dark. Just going to pause this and make sure that this file doesn't corrupt. Okay, that's that file saved now. So the problem can be sometimes, say you film like a 40-minute video, if it's all in one take, and then something dies or goes wrong, or if I get a call, or, I mean, to be fair, my phone's on airplane mode, but like if something happens, phone dies, you'll lose the whole recording, not just the end of it. So I try and remember every so often to just pause it and start filming again, so that I don't lose the whole session, because I've done that a few times before. Right. That's not bad. I think that's heavier than last week. It still feels okay. Did you hear that pop? It was my elbow. Nice. Just 3 more of these. Do you guys want to watch them? Do you not? Do you? Don't you? These are great. I feel like, really feel it in my tricep. I don't have to use much weight and it doesn't irritate my elbows at all. Could probably do it with a cuff, I guess. Then you'd have to use more weight because of where the moment arm would be different, wouldn't it? That's what I call this part of my arm. It's not actually. Tell you what, when it gets super cold again, because it got cold and then now it's like moderate, it'll be good to have access to somewhere that's got like heating, because there's no other gyms in this area that have got good quality equipment and heating. Ours is the best, but we don't have heating. So when I move, there'll be somewhere that has decent equipment and heating. It's like the best of both. And that somewhere will be my garage. I'll do this. Cool. It's only a single garage, so it's not going to be massive. Actually, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It'll be about this big. Can you see to the door from here? Let me just move you. So the home gym floor space will be, I don't know if I'm going to be stood in the way, roughly from this tile to include all of those tiles. So I think I'll put like squat rack, probably, I'm gonna have to remeasure it up, I don't know. No floor plan came with the listing. We've got like room dimensions, but I can't remember exactly the layout and I can't remember the height. I know I couldn't reach the ceiling, but that's not really helpful because I'm only like 3 foot tall. Yeah, what will I do when we move to train? I'll probably just, I don't know. By the time this video is up, I will have done the move. So I do this a week ahead. So, if you go on my Instagram, all of the social medias is at Dr. Adam Sawyers, Sawyers. You might see what the new place looks like, or you might not. Something I did consider is waiting until January for when people have got Christmas gifts and stuff and then people are selling their old gym kit, see if I can pick stuff up then. But the problem I'm finding is there's loads of racks and stuff for sale on like Facebook Marketplace and whatnot. But when you look at them, they're only rated to 200 or 250, which 250 sounds cool and sounds like a lot, but I'm not being hyperbolic when I get into my strength block, I'll be squatting that at more than that at least once a week. And especially if we then do push on past 700 towards the 800, the weights are going to start to get significantly higher. And so I don't want to pay a lot for a rack that I'm going to outgrow, for lack of a better term. But I did consider just buying a cheap rack, so I've got something for now, and just doing like my accessory days there. But I don't know how much I'm willing to spend on a temporary solution when instead I could just pay the local gym membership, have the 10-minute drive instead. So I don't know. I think each week of these videos will have like a different theme. You can probably tell what's on my mind a lot at the minute. And then you'll be able to see as time goes how that changes. Right. Very good. Just one more, I believe. I'm feeling pumped, I'm feeling good, I'm not knackered. Just got work for the rest of the day and then moving. I thought, so when I first had a look, you go on like the online, internet speed, whatever, I don't want to spend silly money, but I was like, whatever the fastest is, I'll just buy that. Allegedly, there was 900 megabytes download speed, so basically a gig download speed where we are, and I was like, yes, give me that, that'll be perfect. So I contacted them, and so I filled in the contact form, it asked you for your current address, so I put in my current address, and then in the form I said, I am moving to, I put the new address, and I'm interested in this broadband package. But it said I need to contact you to find out if it's available at my address. Please can you let me know? They replied and said, I have just looked at your address, as in my current address, and we do not supply it to there. So I very politely replied and said, please reread the email, the initial inquiry I sent. I was asking about the new address. And then they replied and said, can't do that either. Cool. I advertised for it. So instead, at the minute where we are at home, we get like 15, sometimes 20 download speed, which is obviously not great. So it takes forever to upload anything. I thought we were going to be able to get up to the 900, which obviously would have been amazing. We're not going to get that. But it says it's like 70 to 75. So it'll still be much faster than what we've got, but it's not. It's like, look at what you could have won. You know, it's a very, very first world problem. I think the download speed here is fairly fast. I'll just do a download test. Download speed. So the speed test for here, running off the Wi-Fi, it's actually coming up pretty good. So it's saying, well, it's still doing it. I'll do a set whilst it does it. Oh, we've got download speed 48.5. Download speed 48.5, upload speed 13.3, latency 14 ms. So here is about three times better than at home, which is frustrating because here is less than half the price of current home, but obviously that won't matter in a few days' time. So if the new place is faster than here, that'll be good. Yeah, so do I look massive now? So we never have Wi-Fi problems here. So if this download speed and upload speed is fine, then the new house should be okay. But I've gone for a short contract so that when they do get fibre in the area, so allegedly they're getting it in the next 6 months, I'll be able to get out of the contract. Anyway, that's got nothing to do with my training and the 700 and stuff, has it? Today has just been an oversharing Tuesday. So with that said, I might see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's a weird one for timing of stuff. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what it is tomorrow. I don't know, we'll see. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching.